Hey guys, in this video, we're going to be going over planning the Bachelor Bachelorette party, and to help me with this, I've got my friend and pro wedding planner, Leandra Murphy from Whispers of Wisteria. Now, Leandra is a beast and has personally planned dozens of weddings and events over the years, and was kind enough, probably hundreds actually, and was kind enough to take some time to help us today with this video, so welcome.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. I'm super excited to dive into this topic because I think this is one of the biggest pain points for some people, especially the bride. This is really the first time in the wedding planning process that they have the least amount of control, typically because these parties are planned by the bridal party's maid of honor and best man.
That's right, and not only that, some of these events tend to have a negative connotation to them.
And they shouldn't, because they're supposed to be these amazing celebrations where you're with your best friends and you're commemorating everything you've accomplished in your life so far. And then with those friends, toasting to this metamorphosis of you finding your soulmate and choosing to now build a life together. It's a milestone in your journey and it should be exciting and adventurous and fun, and not a time to just let wild and be single again. I think we can all agree movies like The Hangover are a bit eccentric and not what most people are looking for.
People don't get face tattoos. Whatever it is you decide to do for your bridal party, make sure that you are both on the same page and comfortable with each other's agenda.
That's right, because again, this is supposed to be a fun time to celebrate with your friends, not wind up in some ditch somewhere.
Yeah. So let's talk about the next tradition, and that is who's paying for everything.
Right. So typically the bachelor and bachelorette party is both planned and paid for by the maid of honor and the best man. Now, this is one of those things that you should have discussed with each of these individuals when asking them to fill this role, but things can change and this may end up being a lot of responsibility and a lot of pressure to put on someone. So that's why we're really covering this topic today.
Right. And so first things first, they are not solely responsible for funding everything. In a lot of cases, those who are in the bridal party or anyone who will be attending the bachelor bachelorette party will end up contributing to a portion of that total, but not the thing as a whole. This is a great way to have everyone chip in a little and help lighten the load of your maid of honor and your best man's shoulder. So they could be covering the shuttle or paying for the bar tab.
And since you've already had a crash course on budgeting and building timelines, there's nothing that says you can't be involved in the party planning process. So we're going to go over some ideas to point you in the right direction and help you get started.
And on a side note, there is a tab in that budget calculator where you guys can actually budget for your bachelor bachelorette party. So if you're like most couples who have been together for a while and your friend group has sort of merged together at this point, we might see couples tend to do like a combined version of the bachelor bachelorette party, come together for like one big celebration. Now this is more commonly referred to as a Jack and Jill. I personally did this myself and ended up having a blast. We decided to go to Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut, and everyone in our bridal party met up for a big dinner together before splitting off and going our separate ways for the night.
These are great because you can still be nearby and still celebrate separately in your own ways. And in Brad's case, where he went to a casino, there are so many things to do and places to go to keep you occupied the entire night.
Absolutely. In fact, actually, one of my sisters had her Jack and Jill at the same place. They decided to go to Foxwoods. We ate a bunch of food. We played some games. We did an awesome escape room. Even went and did some indoor go-karting. Someone almost hospitalized himself, but it was a great time. And then to top it all off, we ziplined off the tallest tower at sunset. I may have hired my friend Jeff to dress up as an inflatable dinosaur and drop it like it's hot.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we had a blast, but you don't have to get crazy like this if it's not your thing. I once had a groom who did an epic 2-day-long Dungeons and Dragons raid with his groomsmen wearing full costumes like they did when they were kids, which is pretty fun.
And maybe your idea of the perfect bachelorette party would be just to go off with your girls and get your hair done, maybe do some wine tasting, snack on some charcuterie boards. Whatever you have in mind, just give your maid of honor a list of a few ideas that you'd be happy with and try to keep it budget-friendly for everyone.
Yeah, and don't forget to give them a list of things you don't want to do, all right? You're bound to have someone in the bridal party recommending to do an activity that just doesn't fit with your agenda or the vibe of the group as a whole. So if you can at least provide your maid of honor and best man with some ground rules on what you'd like to include as well as what you'd like to avoid, this will help them with when it comes to, planning and putting the agenda together so that everyone's on the same page.
For sure. Now I think we covered all the basics, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got... Oh, wait. Making sure everyone is okay with chipping in a little as well so that it's affordable for everyone. That's something you guys really want to have a conversation about. So budgeting, I guess.
Sounds good to me. So without further ado, let's dive into our 10 tips for planning a bachelor/bachelorette party.
So we know you won't be doing the majority of the planning for this party yourself, but we figured we'd at least create this video to help point your bridal party in the direction. You can choose to either share this video with them directly or otherwise just use it as to make like a general outline of what you're looking for. So can you take it away?
Let's do this. Starting with tip number 1, which is is to start planning things early. A good rule of thumb would be to plan the bachelor bachelorette party at least a few months in advance. This way it'll give everyone plenty of time to decide on where they'll be going, what they'll be doing, and making sure any flights or reservations are taken care of.
And keep in mind, most popular locations or activities will probably book up quickly, especially if this is a destination party that requires you to travel. So the earlier you can get that agenda locked in, the more options you'll end up having. Tip number 2 is to create a group chat between your bridal party. This way everyone can be a part of the planning process and communicate any important details with one another.
And if you're like some people, you hate the idea of a group chat just constantly pinging you with notifications, then maybe consider a group email or a Pinterest board. This way you can share any ideas you might have in a little bit more of an organized way.
Tip number 3 is to create a budget. Now, like we've said before, with everything else, creating and sticking to a budget when outlining your day is the best way to make sure you're not going overboard and shooting ourselves in the foot down the line. Now, you're also going to have a handful of other people who will be paying for this party. Most of them have, many different levels of disposable income. So keeping a budget will help keep track of what everyone's able to contribute to and be courteous of everyone's budget levels. So don't forget, we also have that budget calculator tab.
And if you and your fiance are able to put anything towards this budget as well, that will definitely only make things run more smoothly, assuming your friends will even let you.
Yeah, and as far as what this budget should look like, there's no real range that we can give you because this is entirely dependent on how many people you have, what you guys all decide to do, how long the celebration will end up lasting. A day at the spa is going to be vastly different than a week in Las Vegas.
Tip number 4 is to start researching different plans and locations where the party will actually take place. This is where the group chat and the list you made will come in handy because the couple will probably have limited insight onto what's actually happening, so it comes down to the group to decide on a plan. So figure out a game plan for the day and make sure everyone's on board with what's happening. And depending on what everyone decides on doing, that will determine where everyone will need to go on the actual day.
Which means people may be needing to organize a travel plan or overnight accommodations. Which brings us to our next tip. Tip number 5 is to organize transportation for everyone. This comes down to being responsible if you plan on going a little bit hard. If you're staying at a hotel, a resort, a casino, a lot of these are going to have shuttles that'll take you to and from the hotel. But if you're going to be doing something a little bit more mild, like maybe a spa day or brunch, and you're going to go a little hard, you might need a designated driver.
Tip number 6 is to be mindful of everyone's situation. In any given group, you're going to have a handful of people with busy schedules, limited vacation time, and kids to take care of. So being mindful of these things when putting together the agenda for the party is super important, especially if this is a destination party. If you're getting a little wild, you should consider adding a recovery day. And if you're traveling, then maybe you need to factor in flights back home, delays, babysitters, and anything else the bridal party members might have to work around.
Tip number 7 is to get creative when planning that agenda. Once you've got a budget and a rough idea of what you want to do, think about how you can make those things stand out. You want this day to be memorable and amazing, and the best way to do that is by doing something unique and exciting that you've never done before. So get creative on what that may look like.
Tip number 8 is to include some type of bonding activity. Odds are not everyone in your bridal party is going to know each other, so by including some kind of game or group activity in the agenda, this will help everyone get more familiar with one another and be able to actually relax and have more fun together. Plus, it makes the wedding day less intimidating for those who will be attending as strangers to your friend group.
Yeah, and by the way, that doesn't have to be like charades or anything. You can just easily do a drinking game or a group activity like cornhole. Moving on to tip number 9, which is to include a surprise of some kind. Without a doubt, the best way to make the night memorable is with a completely unexpected surprise for the couple. This could be something the bride or the groom have always wanted to do, like going zipline or being pulled up on stage at a show. For mine, when I showed up on the big day, one of my best friends who I hadn't seen in years and had no expectation of seeing anytime soon burst through the door and tackled me. He and his girlfriend are from Germany and had secretly conspired to fly all the way to New Hampshire to celebrate with us.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, so it was awesome, and I've already returned the favor. So
well, this brings us to our final tip, which is to ease the couple of any worries. While most people love being surprised, a lot of us have the fear that we're going to be pressured into doing something we might not want to do. So if there's any way, once everything's planned, that you can give the couple an idea of what to expect during this event, that will make a big difference in their level of excitement and anxiety.
Yeah, and again, don't tell them exactly what you've planned, but if you're going to make them skydive or something, at least give them a heads up so they don't show up wearing a skirt and flip-flops.
So there you have it, guys. Those are our top 10 tips when it comes to planning your bachelorette party. Now, we know you won't be planning this party yourself, but you can always use this video as a reference point when you delegate that responsibility to your bridal party. We've also included a little checklist that you can download or print out and add to your wedding planning binder. You can find the link to this right down below.
And again, feel free to just share this video directly with your bridal party if that's easier. We'll be posting this video live on on our YouTube channel, so it's easily accessible for everyone.
And if you have any great ideas for your own bachelor, bachelorette parties, please post these right in the chat down below. We love hearing everyone's thoughts and ideas, and it's a great way for others to get a vision on what they might want to do for their own party.
And if you have any questions about what we covered in this video, please feel free to post those right in the comments because our team will read all of them. Or you can always email us directly with any private questions at support@weteverything.com. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget that you can subscribe to our channel right here, and we will see you in the next video.